this workflow tutorial, we're going to show you how to use a template to launch a prepackaged workflow. And in this example, we're going to be creating a new patient in DrChrono when a new form is submitted in Jotform. So the first thing we're going to want to do when we're on this page is click this blue button that says Use this workflow. So we're going to click on that, and it's going to launch a workflow that looks identical to this. So your screen shortly, it might take a few seconds to load, but when it loads, your screen will look similar to this. And so what we'll do is go ahead and click on the trigger step here, step 1, and click the edit button. And we're going to go to the account page. And what we're going to do is, I already have some accounts set up for myself, but you're going to click on, you'll probably see a blue button here that says sign in to Jotform. And it's going to ask you for your Jotform API key, and the information on how to obtain that API key is right here in the description. So you'll have to go and back into Jotform and configure an API key for your account. You'll paste that API key in here, and then we're going to ask, is this a regular form with a regular account, or is this a HIPAA compliant account? Chances are you probably have a HIPAA account since we're dealing in DrChrono. I'm going to go ahead and use my existing account. And next here, we're going to select a form ID. So ideally, you already have a form set up, and this form contains something maybe your patients are filling out when they come into the office to schedule a visit, or maybe on their first visit. They're filling out information on an iPad through Jotform, and this is those forms. So we'll select our only form that we have available, but just make sure you find your correct form when you go to select it. Hit continue, and then we should see some options appear here when we click on test trigger. And you'll see that we have, I have 4, you might have 5 different options here to select from. So you can kind of sort through these and make sure that these are answers that you would want to work with, that they're proper formed answers. So go ahead and select one. We'll hit continue, and now we're in the create patient in DrChrono step. So right there, what we just did in Jotform is we just configured to see what form are we listing on for new submissions. So now we're on to the step to create a patient in DrChrono. And again, we're going to go to account. I already have a DrChrono account set up, but if you don't, you might see a big blue button here that says sign in to DrChrono. It'll look like this when you click that button. So we're going to ask for the DrChrono client ID and the client secret, and information on how to obtain that is right here in the description of each field. It tells you where to get it. And also under additional resources on the template page that you were just on, down here it'll show you where you can find a video and a how-to document on how to create these credentials. An easy way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and just select the one that I've already done. I'm going to hit continue, and now you can see these fields here. They've already been mapped, but just make sure that it makes sense for your form. Okay, so go ahead and map some fields here. You can backspace over these, and by mapping a field, what I mean is, so let's say that you want to map this to an email field for this patient. And so hopefully in your Jotform submission, you have a field in here called email, or something similar to that contains an email address. And so you just click on that, and you see it appears here. And so now we've mapped this email field to the email field in DrChrono. Make sure you select a doctor ID. It's required. So that's me right there. I'm going to go ahead and select me. So overwrite the presets. Whatever is in here, go ahead and overwrite those presets. I had to hard code in male for mine, but hopefully your Jotform submission will have a gender field, and you could map the gender field just by finding it and clicking on it. It's that easy. And same thing for everything else, last name, just make sure everything's mapped correctly. And if you have any custom demographics that you want to add at that time, you can add them right here. If you click on one of these fields, you should see the drop down here, and you can get the custom field value from that here. So here's the custom field value. I don't have any custom fields, so this is just going to load nothing. But if you do, then you would select them here, and then you would map the value you would want for your custom field. So let's say we're trying to capture the website, so we would stick that in there. We don't have anything, so I'm just going to delete it. And that's it. Hit continue and test and verify. And we should see a success message from DrChrono. And there it is. So here's our data now. So that means that the patient was created in DrChrono. Go ahead and save and close that. And you can see now we have green indicators on these steps. And all these are active now. So we can go ahead and click on that to activate our campaign. Activate our workflow. And that's it. Once you go back to your dashboard, you should see all your information and data set up in there, and you'll be good to go. This thing will run, and every single time when a workflow, when a new form is submitted in Jotform, it'll create a patient for you in DrChrono using the data from the form that the person filled out. Thank you.